What's the biggest surprise since you've been on the court?
Well, I guess I would say two things. The first is what I just said, is that how friendly a place it is, how collegial a place it is. And as I said, I think sometimes people don't get this because we do disagree with each other on a number of cases. I think we probably agree with each other a lot more than people understand. We issue many more unanimous opinions or opinions that are 8-1 or 7-2. So we agree with each other a lot more than people know, but we do disagree, and sometimes we sharply disagree. And I think people think, well, that must mean they don't they don't have much use for each other, and that's really not the case. I think we all both respect each other very much and like each other very much, enjoy each other. We have lunch a lot. We have lunch every time we hear arguments and every time we have conference. So we all meet as a group for lunch. And
you just do stuff together away from the court?
We do. Here are a couple of things that. So I go to the opera with here are two really different things with two very different people. I go to the opera with Justice Ginsburg. Justice Ginsburg is a great opera buff, and she has great seats at the opera, and she very kindly invites me sometimes. I go hunting with Justice Scalia.
I know the story, but can you just tell us a little bit of how that came about?
Yes. Because it does, you laugh. You think it's unusual that I go hunting.
And why you're actually going to miss Tennessee beating Alabama tomorrow.
The reason I'm going to miss Tennessee beating Alabama, I was all set to go to the football game. Really? Do you really think Tennessee's going to beat Alabama?
Don't I get to ask the question?
I was all set to go to the football game. I can't go because the time was changed and it was made later. I have to be back in Washington, D.C., and the reason I have to be back in Washington, D.C. is that I have to get up at the crack of dawn on Sunday to catch a plane to Wyoming, where Justice Scalia and I are hoping to shoot one or more antelope. So the way this happened, I am going to tell you this story, is you go through this confirmation process, and it's in some respects a fun process to go through, but it's in some respects a difficult process to go through. And one of the things you do is, even before you get to the hearings, which everybody sees on TV, there's a lot of work you do before. You go around to all the senators' offices. I think I went to more than 80 senators' offices, what are called courtesy visits, and they all have different kinds of questions for you. And when I often ask people, what do you think the most controversial issues are? What do you think the issues are that the senators ask most about? Invariably, what people say is abortion. But that is, in fact, not the case. It's not the case by a long shot. That what I was asked most about was guns. I was asked about my views on the Second Amendment, and because you can't really talk about, how you're going to decide particular cases, people try to figure out your views by other means. And what they asked me a lot about was, do you hunt? Do any of your friends hunt? Have you ever held a gun? Do you know what a gun is? Honestly, my answers to all these questions were sadly deficient because, I grew up in New York City. I grew up in Manhattan. There was not a lot of hunting going on, That's not what we did on the weekend, was go hunting. I understood that these were important questions to people, that they wanted somebody to understand that their constituents felt passionately about this activity. And so I was sitting with one senator one day, and he was asking me these kinds of questions. And I said, I'll tell you what, Senator, I said, I'm not sure. I said, if you invite me hunting, I would gladly go. And the senator kind of looked at me, and like this look of horror came over his. It's like, really? Did this woman just invite herself hunting with me? And I said to him, Senator, I'll tell you what. If I'm confirmed here's a promise I'll make you. I will ask Justice Scalia, who is a great hunter, to take me hunting. And so when I was confirmed, I went to Justice Scalia and I told him this whole story. And he thought it was the funniest thing in the world. And he said, all right, we're going. And so first he took me to, he belongs to a shooting club, and he took me and we shot clay pigeons until, you know, I sort of kind of maybe had the hang of it. And then several times over the last couple of years, we've shot birds together, quail and pheasant and so forth. And I've actually found it quite fun. And so last spring he said to me, time to move on to the big game. So we're going to shoot antelope in Wyoming. I'm feeling a little bit, I haven't told him this, I'm feeling a little bit of trepidation about this, you know? Like birds are okay, you know, and that's, but I don't know.
It'll be a beautiful time of year in Wyoming.
Okay. All right. I'm hoping to bag myself an antelope. All right.